Oh, oh, that camera's pointing the wrong way. Wait, let's go to this camera. Is this camera good? There we go. Hey, fellas, today is. Let's just turn this a little bit there. Can we turn it? Okay, come on. Be a good boy, camera. Be a good boy. All right. Well, that's not exactly the best, but it is what it. Nope. We can do better than that. There we go. All right. How's it going? Today is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. I am back home after a week. Was it a week? Yeah, I was gone for about a week. I think I left. When did I leave? I left last Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, I think it was last Tuesday. I got home yesterday, but I didn't get home in time enough to stream. All right, you can go. The dog wants to go. He does not like being on my lap while I am streaming. That's fine. He is his own entity. The dog is allowed to do what the dog wants to do. Let me fix this other camera here. I want to fix this camera. So now we're going to have dual cam, right? And it's basically the same view. Oh, that one's, I look a little smaller in this one. Let me just see if I can do this. All right, there we go. Okay, we got that. There we go. I don't know. Maybe we could do a poll later on to see which one people like better. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Henna is here. She is saying hi there, Henna. How are you? The Miss Henna Huna. I know it's the Miss Huna, but I like saying the Miss Henna Huna. Yeah. So I got back home yesterday. I managed to sleep absolutely none last night. I saw the clock every hour up until about 2:00. And then I saw it again at 4:30. So the only hour which I did not see the clock was the 3:00 hour. But I think I fell asleep a little after 2 and then woke up by 4:30, got out of bed at 6:30. I was freaking miserable all day today. And then I had a team lunch with work. It was a work thing where a few of us got together for lunch. And I came back from that lunch. I crashed for an hour. But the thing is, maybe anybody in the chat room, you can tell me this. Like when you take a nap, like when you sit down or lay down, when you lay down specifically, like I am laying down because I am going to take a nap. Do you fall asleep, right? Like lose consciousness, fall asleep. I think losing consciousness and falling asleep are two different things, but they're very similar, right? I mean, if you didn't know they weren't the same thing, you would probably think they were the same thing. But when you actually lay down to take a nap, do you actually fall asleep? I don't. Like, I can't remember the last time I have fallen asleep during a nap. My naps instead are just kind of like they're kind of like a deep meditation almost. Like I still hear everything, but like it's that combination of like hearing, but dreaming. Like I'm still awake, but I'm kind of dreaming, but I'm not quite asleep. It's that kind of thing. That's the deepest I can get in a nap. Certified No Chill says, absolutely you fall asleep. Okay. All right. Henna says, holy moly. Oh, no. Matthew says, holy moly, what is this stream all about? Matthew, you know what this stream's about better than anybody. And Henna says, I am absolutely great, absolutely knocked out if napping. I am jealous of the people who, here, I'm going to change the view to give you guys a different camera angle. Okay, so I am jealous of the people who are able to actually fall asleep during a nap. Matthew says, if I sit on the couch with the TV on, I'm absolutely crashing out. If I go to bed to sleep, can't. And I hate that sleepy but awake state. Well, I find that happens a lot when I travel, that I get into that weird state of I'm too tired to go to sleep. Like, you know what I mean? Like where you stay up for like 32 hours in a row and you're exhausted. So you lay down to go to sleep, but you're literally like too tired to go to sleep. It's a weird, like that happens a lot when I'm traveling. I slept terribly last night. I slept so terribly last night. And I usually do. Like on my first night back home after a trip, I usually sleep pretty badly, pretty terribly. And last night was no exception. I am hoping, finger crossed, I am hoping that I can sleep a little bit better tonight. Hannah says, Matthew, that's why I've slept on my couch last year, maybe. Better sleeps here. Better sleep. Well, Hannah will listen to this stream on her couch, and then for the first half hour, she's very like active in the chat room, a participant, and then 45 minutes into the stream, I'll say like, hey, Hannah, blah, 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 blah. And then it's just crickets. It's just crickets. And then I'll get a text the next morning being like, oh, hey, I fell asleep during your stream last night. So, yep. So I'm expecting that to happen tonight at any minute now. What are we going to work on? I don't know. Like I haven't worked. I don't even know where we're at with the game. Let's take a look. I've literally been working, like when I was away for this past week, I did a lot on the map. I'm digging working on the map. I know it has nothing to do. I know nobody's going to look at it. I don't care. I'm enjoying looking at the map. I'm enjoying working on the map. So that's what I've been digging. Matthew says, I might try it. I can lay down on my couch. Might do the trick. Just lay down listening to my stream. That'll knock you right out, Matthew. Knock you right out. We're going to load up the game and we're going to see what happens with the game. A lot of people in the chat room at the beginning. I'm wondering if that's because I scheduled this stream like 5 days ago. They always say that you should schedule your live streams days in advance, that it helps with the algorithm. Of course, I don't do that. So maybe I need to schedule my streams like a week in advance. Maybe tonight I should schedule next week's stream just to kind of see. Matthew says, imagine working on gameplay. Get out of here, you whack. It's that kind of thinking that has gotten England into trouble. That's why the UK is falling, right? Like that is, it's not immigration. It's not Rupert Lowe or Nigel Farage or Keir Starmer. No, it's that kind of thinking that Matthew just exhibited right there of maybe on a game programming stream, we should work on gameplay. That's the kind of thinking that needs to be rooted out of the country. Hannah says, yep, that's me. I have a prescription to sleeping pills, but I use Addy streams instead. Hey, give me your sleeping pills. Do you really have a prescription for sleeping pills? And if so, what are they giving you? Because I've talked about this before, that a lot of countries are very weird about what sleeping medications they'll give you. Like some countries, like the United States, like they'll just give you anything. Like, oh, you want heroin? Fine, here's some heroin to help you fall asleep. But then other countries are like, well, you really gotta watch the melatonin. I know we know melatonin is a natural herb produced naturally by the body, but you really gotta calm down on the melatonin. So like there's no in between. Like countries are like, it's like the Wild West or it's like North Korea. Like there's no in between when it comes to sleeping pills, apparently. Sorry, I've overstepped my bounds. Yes, Matthew. I thought you were going to the movies tonight. Aren't you going to, are you still going to the movies? You're going to go see Obsession, which I do want to see. Like, actually, maybe I'll do that this weekend. Maybe that's what I'll do. Oh wait, I got my Naughty Boy browser open. I gotta fix that. I didn't realize I had my Naughty Boy browser open. Let me go ahead, close my Naughty Boy browser, open up my Good Boy browser. Where is it? Where is my Good Boy browser? There it is. Matthew says cinema in 30 minutes. No back rooms. I want to see Obsession 2 though. Your what browser? Oh, so I have a browser that I use specifically for the stream, right? Because, I might have, I'm trying to think of an example. What if I have to look up a recipe for porridge, right? And then I type in POR into the search bar. And if I'm using the browser that I normally use on my day-to-day activities, also known as my Naughty Boy browser, if I look for a recipe for porridge, I don't think porridge recipes are what's going to pop up in the autocomplete for POR, right? So instead, I use my Good Boy browser on the stream. So let's get a little dangerous. This might be a little dangerous. I'm going to try it. POR. Okay. See, this is all this is all very sanitary. Like you got results about Portland, Maine, a portable coffee maker, results about Portland, Oregon, and Portland, Maine, and Portugal. Now I'm gonna off screen. I'm gonna try it on my on my Naughty Boy browser. Let's see, POR. Yep. No. As soon as I typed PO, actually, you know the website that popped up. You know the website that popped up in the autocomplete. So yeah. So I think keeping those two things separate is actually a good idea. Addie was looking at my fan page the other day, almost got us both in trouble. What fan page? What are you talking about? Like, you have an OnlyFans, Matthew? Certified No Chill says, using a desktop PC for porridge is diabolical. No. What, like, are you sitting there looking at porridge recipes on your cell phone? I mean, you do that if you're in a pinch, right? Like, if you're at work and you can't concentrate and you need to just kind of check out some porridge recipes for like 5 minutes to kind of get your mind off of porridge and so you can concentrate on work. Sure. You go into the stall, you lock the door, you're good to go. But if you're at home, like, are you maniacs looking at porridge recipes on your cell phone if you're at home alone? Like, seriously? Maybe that's a millennial thing. Like, maybe that's like one of those weird millennial things I just don't get. And it says, I have Opamox. Opamox? What the hell is Opamox? Opamox. Opamox 15 milligrams. What's the active ingredient? It's an intermediate. Oh, that's not even a sleeping pill. That's a benzo. What you got there, you basically got Xanax is basically what you have there. Trust me, I'm American. Americans, we know our pills. Certified No Chill says, stall at work. This is an HR. Well, I'm not doing it in my cubicle. I'm going to the bathroom. Who's going to know? Like, what? Like, why are you peeking into this? Well, first of all, if you've got to do that at work, you want to find a single person bathroom, right? Like that's like one of those ones that say like, you know, it just says restroom and then it has a little like picture of like the outline of a male and a female. That's the stall you go into to check out some porridge recipes, right? That's the stall. You don't want to do it in like a shared bathroom unless you're really, really in a pinch. And then you really got to just be very efficient about it so that nobody, like hopefully nobody comes in. But so if you're doing that at work, like again, you're not doing it in your cubicle. Why is it an HR case? Like what's HR doing in the bathrooms checking out to make sure I'm actually pooping? Matthew says, I wonder what would happen if I made an OnlyFans for my game marketing. That's actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. It's not a terrible idea. It's really not. Okay. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Oxapam, but it's a benzo. So it's used for anxiety, tension, agitation, irritability, and alcohol withdrawal symptoms. Now we see why Hannah really gets it. Now we see. Okay. What was I was going to look up something. I wasn't going to look up porridge recipes. I was going to look up something else. I completely forgot what I was talking about. Let's see. What were we talking about? Let me scream up really quick. We were talking about gameplay. No, there was something I was going to look up, and it has completely escaped my... Matthew, what was it? Matthew, God damn it. What was I going to look up? Matthew? No, geez, worthless Englishman. Worthless English people. I can't stand it. Okay, so what were we working on the game? What were we doing? Like, I don't know where we were, and honestly, I'm not exactly sure how to look at where we were, but let's look at it. Let's load up. I'm going to load up Source Tree. Again, I know you guys make fun. I know you silently judge me for using Source Tree, but it's what I grew up on. It's my boomer tool, okay? It's like I like using Source Tree for source management stuff, okay? All right? You can make fun of me all you want. I don't care. You can talk about me behind my back. That's fine. Whatever. I'm not really bothered by it. Maybe a little. Okay. What were we doing? Okay, so is aggro. Okay, I have a memory of trying to get an NPC to attack me by default, but I don't remember why. We were trying to get an NPC to attack me by default. What were we doing? Let's play the game. Let's see where we're at. Oh, jeez. Oh! No, I don't remember. I thought I remembered. No, but Matthew's not going to go see Obsession. Wait, where did my NPCs go? Where did my NPCs go? Oh, my stars and garters. Oh, come on. What's going on? Game asset route. Okay, so they're going to be here. They're going to be over here. Enemy NPCs. Why did I disable it? So I was doing something. I just don't remember what it was I was doing. Let me see. Okay, so is aggro. So if I enable both these guys, let's enable both of them. Can I enable them? Yes, right here. And I'm going to make them both aggro. And I'm going to... Oh, you know, one thing we could look at. There's a bug. I think it's the NPCs are able to shoot, but... Excuse me. The player is not able to shoot. I think that's the bug. So we'll check that out. So let's see. Oh yeah. So he's aggro, and this is his friend going to? Okay, his friend is just too busy going back and forth. Oh shit. Okay, his friend really is just really set on that patrol path. Okay, the friend. I don't know why the friend doesn't want to attack me, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to come over here. And I guess they're not set to chase me. They used to chase me. Remember that? Okay, so here... Okay, so I pressed the primary mouse button in order to attempt a shot, and there you can see we're getting an error. Pistol 1 entity, line 139. Visual Studio is loading up, and we're going to see if we can fix that error really quick. I'm trying to remember the error. It was I'm gonna have to step through. Like, I remember debugging it, and then I remember thinking like, oh god, all right, I'll check. I'll fix this later. I don't remember how, and I remember at the time, I remember thinking like, yeah, I know what I need to do to fix this, but it's gonna be a pain in the ass to fix it, so I'll worry about it later. And so now that attitude has come back to haunt me. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, we're going to close all tabs. So oh, Jesus Christ. All right, pistol 1 entity. And this was line 139. Okay. I kind of remember now. So what... I'm trying to remember how this works. I think what we're doing, because remember, there's certain, we extend a ray cast from the tip of the gun in a certain direction, whatever direction we're facing. And basically there's certain layers. There's certain layers we want to ignore. Okay, got it. I got it. Okay. So what I just said is absolutely true. When we fire the gun, we have a ray cast that goes from the tip of the gun straight into, in the direction that we're pointing, right? And this is the ray cast call here. I'll make this a little bit bigger because I know Not Sure likes big things. I'm sure Henna does too. So okay, wait, can I make the... Okay, hello. Okay, there we are. Bueller. Okay, right here. So this layer mask argument, what we're doing, if I remember correctly, the layer mask argument of the raycast call tells the raycast... Oh, I hope Matthew's here to check me. I believe the argument says... only collide with these layers, right? It's a bit mask. So the argument says, here's a bit mask of layers, only collide with these layers. So what we do is we take the target. So when the NPC is shooting, when it this is important. and this is the crux of the issue. When an NPC is shooting at something, the NPC is not just like, Wild Bill Hickok. No. The NPC has a target that it's chasing and shooting at. And so what we do is we get the layer of that object, and then we do some bitmask math, and basically we say we only want to collide with that layer. That is, we only want to collide with the layer of the target. The reason this is broken for the player is because a player does not have a target, because the player can, in fact, just shoot willy-nilly all over the place. Am I the only person that uses the term willy-nilly? Because I feel sometimes I am, because I say willy-nilly a lot, but I feel like I never hear anybody else say that. Is the term willy-nilly actually a term? Oh, yeah. Yes, it's an idiom. Willy-nilly is a real English idiom. Hannah, what is the equivalent of willy? Is there an equivalent of willy-nilly in Finnish? You know what? I'm going to ask something better than Hannah. I'm going to ask AI. Is there a Finnish equivalent for the English idiom willy-nilly? Let's see. Yes, Finnish has exact equivalence for willy-nilly. All right, so there's miten satu. Miten satu. As it hits is the most accurate everyday translation. And then here it has a little example. Ala tohutlata. No. Ala tulata raha miten satu, which means don't spend money willy-nilly. I guess there's also hulum he tulin. Oh, we got to figure out. There's got to be a better one here. Matthew says, heard it here fair often, not as much these days, though. Well, I am old, so it does make sense that the idioms I'm using are from a day prior. I really like. I don't talk about politics on here, right? I do a little bit, and I think if you've watched my stream enough, you kind of, you know where I fall on like the hot button popular issues. Where was I going with that? Oh, but I've realized, like, after spending a few days with my daughter in Maine, I realized that I'm very much like, the world has changed. The world, I don't like it. All these pronouns and all the QT plus. Back in my day, we just had C++ and he, him. That's it. And I'm very much like that old guy, right? So I don't know how I got. So that's why I'm thinking like maybe willy-nilly is just like, I'm very much just like, back in my day, we had willy-nilly. All we had was willy-nilly. Let's see. Hannah says, Holum he. And that's actually the second one that the AI lists. Holum he is more like everything is all over the place. At least that's how I used it. Holum he. Holum. Finnish is an awful language. It's impossible to pronounce. It's impossible to pronounce. It is. It's all right though. It's all right. Anyway, back to this. So the reason that this is broken is because, first of all, we don't have a base NPC. The owner, I'm not sure if owner is null or if owner is a player entity, which means this cast right here is going to break. So what? Okay, let's put a break. This should be easy enough to test, right? I think I need to restart the game, but let me just come back over here. Let me attach this to Unity. You love Finnish, you just can't do it. I can speak Finnish. My Finnish is perfect. Thank you. Hurlum here. Okay, so all right, we've got that attached. Let's go ahead and play the game and let's see what happens. What time'd your movie start, Matthew? You said you're going to not Obsession. There's Obsession. What? Wait, I got to scroll up to figure out what it was, to remember what it was. Cinema in 30 minutes. Not Obsession. Imagine the gameplay. Oh, god damn it. He mentioned it. Where the hell was it? Okay, if I sit on the couch, I might try to lay down. Imagine working on gameplay. Sorry, overset. Cinema in 30 minutes. No, Backrooms. Okay. Yeah, Backrooms I want to see too. I think I want to see Obsession more. The guy Curry Barker, whatever his name is. Oh. Wait, what? What happened? I've been like most of the internet, right? Like I've been following like his comedy for a long time, like his skits and everything. Like you can't have been on the internet for the past 3 years and not have seen Curry Baker, whatever his last name is. But I really like him, and like he started out with doing the comedy skits, and then obviously now he's ventured into horror, and yeah, Obsession looks really good, and it looks good, and it's actually gotten really good reviews. So, and it's hard to find a good horror movie these days. It's just like you kind of, especially at my age, where I've been a horror fan my entire life. My mother like took me to go see horror movies when I was way too young. Literally, one of my earliest memories is my mother and her friend Bonnie. I don't know why I'm mentioning Bonnie, but she's dead now, so it's okay. But my mother and her friend Bonnie, the year was 19-diggity-doo. No, I think it was 1980, 81, something like that. Maybe 79, I'm not sure, but it was a long time ago. And the memory is that I knew what Friday, I don't know how I knew what Friday the 13th was, but I knew. And Friday the 13th Part 2 was in theaters, and my mother could not find a babysitter. So her and Bonnie really, really wanted to go see it. And I was scared and I was crying. And I remember my mother pulling the like, well, we're just two girls and we need a boy to protect us. And I'm like, okay. And then I saw Friday the 13th Part 2 in the theaters. What year was that? Not going to see how inappropriate my mother was. Friday the 13th. Okay, so part 1 came out in 1980. Part 2 must have been 82, maybe? 81. So depending on what time, well, let's see. Let's get the exact date. If only the internet could tell us. So May 81. So I would have been 6 years old. So my mother took me to see Friday the 13th, and that's the first movie memory I have. Though I also have a memory of seeing the movie Scanners, which actually, you know what? I just realized something. It must have been Friday the 13th Part 1. It had to have been Friday the 13th Part 1. And the reason I know that, here, I'm doing a little detective work here. Here's how I know it was Friday the 13th Part 1. Because by May 1st of 1981, my little sister was born. My little sister was born in March of 81. So, and my mother was with that baby daddy. She was with that baby daddy for a few years. Like we lived with him for a good 5-6 years, right? Had it been Friday the 13th Part 1, or I'm sorry, Friday the 13th Part 2, she would have been with that stepfather. My little sister would have been born. So that doesn't quite make sense because my mother was having issues with a babysitter. I remember that distinctly. So it had to have been Friday the 13th Part 1. Which means it was 1980, which means I was 1 year old. Let me see if I can find this. Part 1. Okay, 1980 film. So this came out May 9th, 1980. So I would have been 5 years old when this was in theaters. 5 years old. But I remember with my stepfather, my mother, and my little sister who was a baby, I remember going to see the movie Scanners. Because I'll never forget the scene, because there's this very famous scene in Scanners where this guy's head explodes. Like I don't know, I don't remember the story, I don't remember the plot, I just remember the guy's head exploding. So that would have been January 14th, 81 was the release date. So that checks, because I remember my mother leaving the theater because my little sister, a baby, was crying. So my mother took my sister out of the theater. Wait a minute. We got to see this now. YouTube. Oh, no, come on. Just Send me the YouTube. Thank you. Easy. Okay, scanners. Head explosion. See right there. Autocomplete. Scanners, head explosion. Let's Okay, wait a minute. No. I want to see the actual. Let me see. Here we go.
Everyone needs to watch this famous movie where the guy's head explodes.
And like, because there's like some telepathy, right? There's like some telepathic connection that the scanners, they can make your head explode.
So this is a series where I tell you
I'll never forget that. Saw it in the theater. Because my mother, but anyway, so it, like, going back to what I was talking about, is it's difficult to find a good horror movie because I've been seeing these things since I was 5 years old, and so you get desensitized. So to find a good horror movie that actually scares you and is a good movie, it's rare. One movie that comes to mind that was really, really good, a horror movie that I really, really liked, it's not so recent anymore. It's about 20 years old, but The Descent. I don't know if it's The Descent or Descent. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Excellent movie. The sequel was awful. Descent. This was a great movie. What year? It's 2005. So it's a 21-year-old movie. God damn, I am old.
Hey, give me a smile.
We're gonna watch the trailer real quick.
Juno, are you sure we're going the right way?
I've never been lost in my life.
That is a great movie, and I saw this movie. So I saw this movie. So Matthew's always like, you need to try going to the movies by yourself. The Descent, I saw in the theater. Not by myself, but I saw it in the theater 3 times. I saw it once with my girlfriend, like right as we were breaking up. And then, that was like one of the last like things we did together as a couple, is go see this movie. And then we broke up, right? We broke up. And I was like heartbroken, and I'm like, I miss her. And so because I wanted to, like, I don't know, I guess I wanted to like feel close to her. I was nostalgic or whatever. I went to go see this movie a second time by myself. So I saw it once with my girlfriend, and then she became my ex-girlfriend. So I went to go see it a second time because I really liked it and I was feeling nostalgic. So I saw it the second time by myself. And then like a week after that, my daughter and I went to go visit my mother, and the 3 of us went to go see it in the theaters. Of course, I carried on the tradition that my mother had started, which was taking your children to the movies at age inappropriate times. So, yep, let's. This is a good movie.
There's only one way out of this chamber, and that's down the pipe.
The woman who plays Juno, she's a cutie pie. She's a really cutie pie. She's a super cutie. And people who do this, people who go cave diving, or not cave dive, just people who go caving, you're an idiot. You're stupid. And it's really difficult to feel pity or sadness for them, for people who like get stuck. Like, nobody should, like, you don't want anybody to get hurt, right? But at the same time, it's like, what, you put yourself in that situation. Like, you did that. Matthew has to head out. What a lame-o. Whatever. Yeah, nope. So basically what you're saying is, like, you hate henna. So, like, you're not, yep, that's basically what you said. All right, I heard it too. This is a good monster movie. And it's a scary monster movie. But it's a good, like, because it plays on, like, your claustrophobic darkness fears really well. Well, Matthew, you better be here tomorrow. See, look, you've got Henna crying.
Sarah thinks she saw someone back there. So what? I don't think I saw someone.
And also, this movie, I don't want to give it away, but there's something that happens at the end of this movie where they make a certain person out to be a bad guy. And it's like, why are they a bad guy? Well, it's all women, so I can say she, right? I'm not giving anything away. But it's like, she did what anybody in her situation would have done. Like, why is she suddenly this bad person? I won't give it away, though. But I'll talk about something related to it in a second. Oh, yeah. Okay, get to it. Get to it. Here we go. Here we go. So, like, they're... Oh, yeah. See, basically, they're lost in this cave system, and, you know, like, and nobody knows where they're at. So, yeah. But, again, why would you put yourself in this situation? A new horror. I would call it a classic. This is such a good movie. I know Certified No Chill has seen it. Oh, that's right. And then somebody breaks the leg, like, and it's like one of those, like, it's one of those bones break out through the skin breaks. Like, come on. Ah. Is that it? That was a. Is it really showing me an ad in the middle of? Oh, for fuck's sakes! Okay, whatever. We're not watching that. Okay, so let's see if we can fix this bug. Oh, but what I wanted to talk about in terms of like a bad guy who, okay, have Henna, because I'm going to assume you're the only one still here. Have you seen 28 weeks later? Right? Not 28 days later, but 28 weeks later. And then, of course, now they have like the 28 years later and all of that. But specifically, I have. So 28 weeks later, the opening scene, and this is something that has bugged me since it has bugged me since I saw this movie in the theater nearly 20 years ago. And because in the opening scene, if you recall, the husband, so basically it starts out like you have a bunch of people, like it's a zombie apocalypse, and you have a group of people, they're in a house, and like, you know, you have a couple, like you have a middle-aged married couple, then you have like a older married couple, then you have like a random guy, a random woman, and like I think that's it. There might be like one other person, right? But it's just this kind of group of people that just kind of found each other, and now they're held up in this house, just kind of like surviving. Like they've got food, they've got water, like, you know, so they're chilling. And so, and what happens is during dinner one evening, somebody,
Here we go again.
okay, they're talking, and then somebody starts knocking at the door. And this freaks him out because if somebody's knocking at your door in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, that can be a little disturbing, right? That can be a little like, that'll make you uneasy. So they knock at the door, they go answer the door, and of course, it's like the thing to do there is not answer the door, right? But wait a minute, wait.
Quiet.
Sam!
Quiet.
So they hear they hear somebody knocking on the door, and they're screaming, and you can hear it's a kid. So what happens? Of course, the fucking woman, oh, it's a boy, we have to help the boy, because this is in England. Oh dear, we have to help the boy. So she goes, and she's like, we have to help the boy. So she goes, they debate even opening up the door, but they open it up briefly so the boy can get in. Mind you, they haven't seen the son in forever because they're held up in this house. So they open up and they let this little shit inside because the fucking woman is like, oh, there's a boy. Oh. So they let the boy inside, this little idiot, and he hasn't eaten in forever. He's starving, so he starts eating. He starts chilling, chomping down. They're asking him what's happening. Like, oh dear, what have you seen outside? Oh, long live the queen. I have seen so many zombies. Oh, I'm going to open up the window. Hold on a second. Okay, that's better. So they're all like, they're asking the boy, like, what news do you have from the yonder? Oh dear. Oh, it has been many trials and tribulations I have seen out on the street. And so, but now, of course, because this boy has come, well, what do you think in a zombie apocalypse, what do you think this little shit has brought with him? What do you think? Take a fucking guess. Nope. Here it comes. Give me a sec. 1 second. We're going to find out. And, of course, he brought fucking zombies. The zombies fucking followed him to this house. So, and, of course, now everybody in the house is in danger because the stupid fucking woman had to open up the door. Hey, we have to help the boy. And so now this woman is going to get her ear cut off. And so now the zombies, they're going to rampage through the house, right? They already break through the door. They start biting people. And if you know anything about zombie apocalypses, of course, when a zombie bites one person, that person becomes a zombie like nearly right away, right? So now it's just spreading. The little safe haven that they had where they were enjoying their wine and pasta, now it's just gone into complete and fucking chaos because the stupid fucking woman had to open up the door. So here you go. Everybody's running around. Oh dear, oh no, me knickers, oh no, we must run. Like everything's just like, oh, I need my beans and toast, oh dear. Like, because this is in England, right? So they're panicking like English people panic. So they're running around and okay, this goes on for a while. They go into a barn, people get killed. Okay, so here's an important part right here. So I think I have done a good job of painting the scene because God forbid I just actually let you watch the scene, right? But like you have like people are in panic. It's complete and utter panic that's going on. Now, the husband is running and he's thinking he's going to go. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking, but like it's I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that he's like, okay, I'm going to run up here. I'm going to lock this door and then maybe I can get out onto the roof because they have a boat with a lake or a river. Maybe I can get out. My wife's up there. So let's go. Come on, wife. Okay. Lock the door because, the zombies don't know how to open a locked door. And now him and the wife, they have a perfectly good exit. Mind you, they met this boy no more than 15 fucking minutes ago. And the woman, she's like, wait. I see him. Oh dear, I see the boy. We must rescue this boy. The boy we just met 10 minutes ago that I don't know and I've never seen before. And like, do you see the situation they're in? There's fucking zombies coming in. The woman, she's like actively fighting her husband to go rescue this little shit. And he's like, let's go. Fuck the kid. Let's go. If you try to rescue the kid, we're going to die. And the woman's like, I don't care. The boy. And so she goes. Now look, the zombies have broken into the room at this point, right? On one side is the husband next to a window out to freedom. On the other side is his stupid fucking wife and this little shit that they just met 10 minutes ago. And between them are killer zombies. And look, this is the most ridiculous fucking part of all of this. Because he's like, well, what are you doing? Like, I told you, like, they're coming, right? And she tries to like grab the boy, but of course the zombies get in the way. Now she's like, oh dear, now I must face the consequences of my own actions. And my husband has the audacity to not help me because that's what women do. They get themselves into these shitty situations and then expect their boyfriend, husband, man to get them out of it. And she's like, John. And of course, if the man doesn't do it, he's the bad guy. For whatever reason, he's the bad guy in all of this. What the fuck? Like, he's the bad guy because of your stupidity. He's the bad guy. And this isn't just in this scene. It prevails throughout the entire movie that they make him out to be the bad guy because his stupid fucking wife was his stupid fucking wife. Like, oh my God, it is infuriating. I remember being in the theater And like this movie ends because it just goes on that like he's the bad guy because he didn't get himself killed because his wife wanted to fucking rescue some little shit that she met 10 minutes prior. And like he's made out to be the bad guy. Like everybody's like the producers, the director, like they're all like, well, yeah, he's the bad guy. Of course he's the bad guy. Like he's like, oh my God, it's fucking infuriating. Oh God, I hate this movie. I really like it. But that idea of where the movie tries to tell you this one person is a bad guy because they did something or didn't do something, right? But where I felt personally like, no, he's not a bad guy. Like what? Like no, he's not the bad guy. But in the movie The Descent that we were just talking about, there's a very similar situation where somebody makes a decision and then that person is made out to be the bad person, even though it's like, what the fuck? Like, what would you have done? Like, would have any of us done anything different? Like, oh my God. Hannah says, by the way, did you know? And 28 days later, I remember right, in the ending scene, there's a helicopter flying and the pilot is talking in Finnish. I didn't know that. Isn't it the beginning of in The Thing? In the original, let's see, The Thing, original, well, the 1980s. 1982 opening. I believe it's a very similar thing where I can't remember if it's Swedish or it's Norwegian. It's Norwegian. Okay, never mind. It's Norwegian, which is like it's like the bastardization of Finnish. Actually, not really. Haven't seen The Thing, so it's not that. You haven't seen The Thing? Yet another horror classic. Like The Thing. Now, how well does The Thing hold up? It's nearly 50 years old. Okay, just keep that in mind. But The Thing is definitely considered a classic. It is definitely considered one of the like just a classic movie. Oh my God, you got to watch The Thing. The Thing is good. Okay, let's fix this fucking bug. How about we do that? Can we do that? God, we started this like 20 minutes ago. These guys are just freaking out. Like my mission failed. I've been talking so long. Okay, whatever. I'm just we'll worry about one thing at a time. Okay, so we hit the break point. Now, I guess I could have hit it one below. Okay, so is base NPC null? It should be. It is null. Owner is not null. So what we can do is basically just say, hey, if owner is a player entity, then the layer mask is blah. Okay, so let's think about this. Let's we can now. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Okay. I have a dumb C# question, but Matthew's gone. Is null 0 in C#? So, because what I'm thinking is you could do, what could you do? Nah, never mind. You'd have to, no, even what I was thinking, there would have to be some type of conditional. All right, but you're not going to be shooting. I don't think it's not like you're going to be shooting every frame, so I think we're going to be okay. If owner is, okay, let's do this. Int layer mask equals 0. All right. Easy. If owner is player entity, else, do we have an assert? Assert is true. Owner is base NPC. Owner entity is not a base NPC. Okay. So if it's a base NPC, Actually, it's going to be a base NPC the majority of the time. Maybe. Well, you're going to have more base NPCs shooting at you than you will have players shooting at you, or shooting in general. So actually, we could do it the other way around. Is character entity. Let's just say if owner is base NPC. No. Can I do this? Oh my God. What's going on with my nose? Suddenly I've got like a booger that's causing my nose to itch. All right, give me a sec. I should check the other. I'm just going to check Twitch really quick to see if there's anybody in Twitch. Generally, there is never. There's just not generally, but I'm going to check anyway, just to kind of spruce things up a little bit. Let's see. Easy. Let's see. Nope. You got, okay. Apparently I have 2 viewers on Twitch. All right, I'll take it. But nobody in the chat. Okay, anyway, let's get back to this. All right, if I was Henna, how would I do this? Okay, what I want to do is this. I'm gonna type out what I want to do, and then maybe we can figure out if I'm able to do it the way I want to do it. Base NPC equals owner. Oh my God. And then in C++, I could do this. Base. Not, oh, Jesus. Okay, so the AI autocomplete knows what I want to do, but I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT how I could do this in C#. There has to be some type of nice syntactical shortcut or something to do this in C#. Oh, geez. Okay, let me close this. All right, let me turn this off really quick. Give me a second, boys. Okay. All right. Nope. Close that. Okay. Here is some C++ code. How could is there any equivalent syntax sugar for C#? Put this down here like that. The AI is going to know what I'm asking for, but let's see. Yes, in C#, the closest syntax sugar is pattern matching. And by the way, I'm not just making that term syntax sugar up. Like, that's actually, like, I'm not going to say it's an actual technical term, but it's actually a very common term, syntax sugar. Okay, I like this. All right, easy. Okay, so then we can do this. Okay, so the use case we have covered is we're not throwing in an exception anymore, but this does bring up a good question as to like what layers do we want to detect? Oh, that is a good, maybe I think, you know what? I think I figured out why I kept putting this fix off. Because like, we have different layers. Of course we do. But like we have this all started with the zone layers, right? So what I did was, if I go here and I can show you what I did. So if I zoom, okay, it's going to have to do this. I'm not going to be able to show you. Okay, I'll zoom out. Easy. Okay, come on. All right. Go back up. Okay. So, oh my gosh. Oh my stars and garters. Come on. Okay. So we have this zone. We have zones, right? And that's how, like, if you walk into a certain zone, And it's like you've entered downtown, or you've entered such and such park, or you've entered Hennaville, or whatever it is. The way I do that is I have a bunch of these invisible cubes, and essentially, if you walk into a cube, if you walk into the interior of a cube, it basically does an intersection test, and if it's true, then you're inside a cube, and so you're inside of a zone. And I can show these zones by doing this. At least I thought I could. Why can't I do that? Huh? That's interesting. Oh, you know what? A lot of these zones might be broken right now because we did some terraforming. And so I think things are broken. So let's see. We're going to have to fix it at some point. So let's try it with no time like the present. Right, Hannah? Okay. So if we do this, easy. All righty. Okay. All right. Easy. Okay. So I should be able to make this one visible now. Yes. So what I'm getting at, so what I had to do, since this is a cube, I need it to be an invisible cube. When the player shoots, I don't want this cube to stop a bullet, because this cube is not a physical manifestation. It's an abstract representation of a certain of a certain space on the map. So, and you can see, okay, it's in the default layer. Oh, is it really? Huh. I forget why we didn't give it its own layer. And there's something else I need to look at. Okay, so that's one pier. Then there's another pier over here. All right. Okay. Now is about the time of day where Hannah's going to start falling asleep. I'll do some ASMR for you, Hannah. All right, now we're going to put the mesh. Now we're going to enable the mesh render, and you can see the cube right there. I think the cube actually needs to be a little bit bigger because we want it to more or less encompass the entire pier. So we can do that by using the scale tool, and then we stretch along the x-axis. Yes, stretch it good. You got to stretch it you don't want to stretch the wrong thing, because that can create problems. But we do indeed want to stretch this. Yes, if we stretch this should be really good, and everybody should enjoy it. Just stretch it a little more, but remember, you don't want to stretch it too much, because that can create damage and it can hurt. All right, so here we go. And you don't want to stretch it all at once, because you need to work into the stretching. You want to stretch a little by little. Before you know it, it's going to be so stretched up, you're going to be able to get an entire fist up there. Okay, whoa. I don't know what Certified No Chill's talking about, but this is a family-friendly stream talking about putting fists inside of zones on maps. Oh, come on. Keep it civil here, people. All right. Okay, we got a compiler error. All right, easy. Where's the error? PC. What? Did I save this? Oh, I didn't save it. That's why. Okay, this is not fixed. I'm just trying to get this to compile and trying to get the other thing. I want to make sure that the NPCs can, if you're standing inside the cube and the NPCs are outside the cube, I want to make sure they can still shoot you. That's important. All right. It's important that you learn to stretch properly. You stretch it out too much, nobody's going to have a good time. I just keep thinking about the word stretch. I'm just going to keep saying stretch. All right. Okay. So I think it's having some issues rendering because I'm inside. Oh, wait a minute. Are these guys still are these guys aggro or not? They're not aggro. Okay, let's make them both aggro. Oh, not that guy. This guy. Oh. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Okay. So you can see that the little Wait, is he inside the cube or not? Okay, he was not inside the cube. I saw my health bar tick down, which means that okay, good. So his weapon is in fact not colliding with the cube, which is what we want. That's exactly what we want. It's just that functionality, it seems brittle. And to kind of show you what the zones do, let me see if I can do. Let's see. Both those guards we're gonna make both those guards not aggro. Okay. And this is a good test to make sure the zones actually still work. That functionality might not even work. Okay. All right. Easy. Brain tickles. And when I talk about stretching certain things and that you want to like ease into the stretching, like you can't just stretch everything all at once or people are going to get hurt. Like I'm talking about stretching the brain. Right, of course. I'm talking about a mind stretch. But did you see it? It did just show me the pier. Like it just like let's see. It's not going to show it to me again because it already showed. But if I go over to this other pier, it should show me. It should tell me. Let me see. Okay, maybe not. All right, it just made me a liar. Okay. Oh, is it disabled? Oh, it's not enabled. That's why. All right. Okay. Easy. God, I hope I sleep good tonight. I like more than anything, I just want a good night's sleep tonight. Like, Lord Jesus above, please give me a good sleep tonight. All right, I need to appropriately stretch this. And then, so I have found, like for I guess about 2 weeks now, I've been reading before bed. Oh wait, I need to check something really quick. But no, so I have been reading before bed at night. And at first I was reading this Stephen King novel and I literally got halfway through it. And then it took a completely different turn halfway through. And I'm like, ugh. So I just went to the wiki page for the novel and I read the synopsis and I was like, all right, I've read the first half and I know what happens in the second half. I'm good. And then I tried finding some other books to read. But then, so I like to write a lot. I like to write stories, but I'm lazy about the, I'm not a good writer. And so I've been using AI to like write stories and stuff. And so for the past week, instead of actually reading a novel, I've been having AI generate a story of about 2,000-3,000 words long. I have it generate a story. I give it sometimes I give it like a detailed synopsis of what I want. Sometimes I just kind of give it the idea and let it invent things. But I've just been having AI just generate stories for me. And then I read those at night, and I usually fall asleep about halfway through. Last night was the first time I can remember finishing an entire story. So anyway, okay. So let's see. All right, we want to make sure that this... Okay, so let's make sure this functionality still works. It's enabled. Let's go and see if it works. You there, boy? You okay? I need to take... I think when my wife gets home, I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream and take him out on a WALK. Okay, so it did work here, but I want to leave a zone and then go into a zone and make sure it works. I want to do that. So let's try. We'll go over here. Okay, and see right there where it said Zop here. Okay, so all right. So this is where it gets tricky because I don't want to have to specify. I don't want to have to explicitly say, here are the layers I want when the player shoots, here are the layers I want it to collide with. Or okay, how do I want to do this? Well, the zones, okay, what do my layers look like? I have default, transparent, ignore, raycast, nav, floor. Maybe we... excuse me. You know what? No, I was going to say, does the player have a layer? But I don't think it does. And even if it does, that doesn't matter. The player's not shooting itself. Because the thing is we want to make sure, like, okay, yes, obviously we want when the player shoots, we want it to collide with NPCs, but we might also want it to collide with a window or a box or, things like so. I basically wanted to collide with everything except the zones. That's what I'm getting at. I think that's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. I wanted to I wanted to hit everything except the zones. Okay. Okay. There's no... Okay. I'm mostly talking to myself. Addie, there's no shame in having this if statement inside of here and a slightly different one inside of here if need be. There's no shame in that, Addie. I think okay. Okay. Just calm down for a second, okay? Just chill. I have to remember the layer mask says yes, collide with these layers. So I want to basically list everything but no, oh my God, why is this a pain in the ass? Okay, the issue is if there's an NPC standing inside of a zone cube, in which case I don't want it to collide with... Oh. But wait a minute. But wait. What is the NPC layers? Do the NPCs have their own layers? They have an enemy NPC layer. Okay. I guess for now. Man, what? Like, I really want to give the zones their own layer, but I feel like I'm going to break something if I give it its own layer, and I'm not sure what I'm going to break. Because there was a whole thing. There was like a whole thing we went through with the zones to get that to work. There was like a whole, like, I'm still recovering from it. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a hack working right now. And then I'm going to call it a stream. And then, so I'm trying to find the function that allows you to get a layer through a string value. I love this song. Okay, layer get mask. This is what I want. So Wet in Welsh. Hannah says, this is a good song. I know. I love this song. I do. Okay. So I think we will just start by having it so the players can shoot friendly and enemy NPCs for now. And I think tomorrow, and Hannah, remind me of this tomorrow. I know you might not understand. Tomorrow, the goal for tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna put this in the Discord so that I don't forget. Let me see. Where is the Discord? Where is? Okay, here we go. Attention, Matthew, and Hannah, and Not Sure. The goal for tomorrow is to put the zone layers on there, or the zone cubes on their own layer. All right. So I put that in the Discord so we don't forget it. Probably don't understand. Yeah, that's okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do enemy NPC. So for right now, the player can only shoot NPCs. But eventually we want to have it so that the player will be able to shoot, like I said, be able to shoot a window, be able to shoot, I don't know, a box. And, you have to shoot the box, then the box opens up and you get gold or whatever the fuck it is. Who the fuck knows? We're never going to finish this game. Okay, let's see if this works. I want to know what Sebastian Undivisible was talking about when he said wet in Welsh. So wet in Welsh. Oh, hi, Mr. Ping. There can only be one thing. Your stream name. Was it? What did I name the stream today? Look at that good looking guy. It's Wednesday, boys. Come get wet and wild. Did I name it Wet and Welsh in the stream?
What you looking at, babe?
Oh, for fuck's. Oh, I did. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sebastian, for recognizing that. So Wet and Welsh. Yes. Actually, we're going to go ahead and schedule tomorrow's too. If this works, we're going to check this code in and we're going to schedule tomorrow's. Okay. So we want, I haven't shot yet, but what we want is when I push this button, we want to see his health bar reduce. Okay. I'm going to let his friend walk out of the way and fuck, it didn't work. But it did work. You know it's not working. Okay, now his health bar is working. Huh. Okay, there's some issues. It kind of works. All right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to open up a branch. Dev. Henna is finished. All right. Not finished, but Henna is finished. And then we're going to check all of this in except for that editor 2 meta file. I'm not sure. I think that was where I was trying to test something else. And then we are going to push this. This is an attempt to fix the bug where the player wasn't able to shoot things, but now the player can shoot things even though Matthew left early to go see a movie because he likes to ditch people like Hannah and me, even though we are his only friends, because we are the only people who like him, including his father, who never liked him, much like my dad, who never told me he loved me. Okay, excellent commit message. Let's go ahead and commit that. And then let's schedule tomorrow's stream, and then we'll get out of here. How does that sound for everybody? All right, perfect. That's done. All right, I do have to load up my Naughty Boy browser for this, but that's all right. Let's see. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we need a good... Let me do this really quick. We need a good... We need like a good... What am I trying to say? We need like a good title. We need a good thumbnail. We need a good everything. Well, like what do we... It's Thursday. Let me see. Photorealistic group scene. There's Lisa. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, perfect. I feel like this chat got broken because I told it to generate a picture of a kitten, and it was saying that violates our nudity policies. Okay, let's see. Okay, generate a photo. Okay, I'm gonna see if this works though. What are we doing? What are we doing in this thumbnail? Where are we? Okay, the 4 of us are on the space shuttle, and there's a fire outside. Everyone looks freaked out and scared except for me. I am on my laptop looking calm, cool, and collected. We have space suits on, including a Yorkie who is not strapped in, so he is freely floating about. All right. Let's see if it's going to give me this violates. Okay. Maybe it'll actually create it, but let's see. Hopefully it's had enough time to reset, or else I'm going to have to upload pictures of myself. Let's see what it comes up with. Sketching it out. So far, it has not given any like, this violates our content policy because you said a word we don't like. All right, let's see. Come on. polishing detail. Oh my God. For fucking how long are you going to do this? I feel like it's stalling. Adding final touches. Finishing up. I mean, just quit lying to me, ChatGPT. Just make the picture. Oh my God, this is taking forever. Okay, here we go. Wait. Why does it think I'm Lisa? It literally thinks I'm Lisa. Oh, wait. Look, it says Addie, but it's a picture of Lisa. No. All right, I'm going to do this offline. I don't know. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna post this. AI thinks I'm Lisa now. All right, fellas, I will schedule the stream in a little bit. I will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. I hope to see you all here. Henna, I hope to see you. And Sebastian U9N5Z, I hope to see you here more than anybody. And then, of course, that other guy, what was his name? Certified No Chill. I've seen you you've been in the chat a few times. I do love that name. I hope to see you here. 4 p.m. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.